So today I want to talk about why I became a pharmacist. For those of you who've been following my journey, you know that I've been a pharmacist since 2013. That's when I graduated from pharmacy school, and I've been working as a pharmacist in a hospital setting. The past 6 years I've been a pharmacy director at a hospital. For those who don't know what that is, it's basically like usually the manager of that hospital or the top position of that hospital within the pharmacy department, and I interface with other departments. So to be honest, when I my senior year of high school, I applied for multiple different colleges in California with different majors. So I had some majors where it was like pre-med. Obviously I did a pre-pharmacy program, which I went for. I got into electrical engineering, and I actually applied for like even nursing as well. So I was pretty well-rounded, to be honest. Probably strong in all topics. I'd say I was a little bit better at like math, chemistry, versus like biology. But I was actually pretty well-rounded. I played varsity tennis in high school, so I just applied to multiple things. But what ultimately led me to choosing pharmacy was I just thought, at least back then, it's so archaic, but my sister did it, and I figured if my sister could do it, I could do it. But also, it was just nice that I could finish a pharmacy school program in 5 years, come out as a pharmacist making, 6 figures, which, back then 6 figures seemed like a lot of money. And it is a lot of money still, but like, when I was in 2008, 6 figures is obviously a lot more than what it is today. So I just figured, okay, well, 5 years, I'll graduate and I make 6 figures, versus like medical school, it's a lot longer, right? You have to do 4 years undergrad, 4 years of medical school, assuming you get into medical school immediately, and then you have to do another 4 years of residency. So and then maybe 1 year or 2 years of fellowship. So to me, it was just like 14 years versus like 5 years, and then I could use those 5 years to work and, enjoy my life. And I don't think, med school is very hard, requires a lot of sacrifice. One of my good friends is a physician, and he's on his 5th or 6th year of residency and has to still do 1 or 2 years of fellowship. So it's a very grinding. And, a lot of people who go to medicine, that's why I respect them so much, they don't start their lives until they're like in their mid-30s. And, if you have a bunch of medical school debt, which is $500,000, it's a lot of long hours. It's hard to like, you really have to want to do it, right? So for me, I wasn't like super passionate about it. To me, I just kind of wanted to like have a job, work the job, do well at the job, and then just do my own thing on the side, right? Like, like travel, do whatever I want to do. So I was always a little more lifestyle oriented. And then for engineering, electrical engineering, I didn't think they made enough money at the time, and the job isn't as stable. I kind of regret maybe not going into like software engineer, because I'm from the Bay Area and there's a lot of, tech bros there. Could have been one of those tech bros. But in any case, what inspired me to do pharmacy was my sister could do it. I was good at chemistry, I was good at math, and I just thought, hey, I could graduate fast and, make good money and have a stable job. And, at the time, looking back now, it's nice about being a pharmacist. We're very system and detail oriented, which translates very well into other side hustles like real estate. Like, for businesses, you want to have standard operating procedures. I'm used to having standard operating procedures in my hospital. So when I run my business, I'm used to creating, SOPs, right? Standard operating procedures. In terms of being very detail oriented, that's very good as well, right? Like when you're doing P&Ls of my real estate portfolio, you want to make sure you're being very detail oriented to make sure things are done correctly. I'm very growth oriented, so that I want to make sure that, like I'm doing things correctly. I'm learning from my mistakes, and I'm not beating myself up for making mistakes, right? Because mistakes will happen. The key thing is to learn from it and not make that mistake again. Also, like, to become a pharmacist, it's a doctorate level degree. So technically I'm Dr. Stephen Nguyen. Not many people know that, but it's a doctorate level degree, which I got in 5 years, and it requires a certain level of intelligence to get, that pharmacist degree. It's not easy, right? It's not easy by all means. So to me, like, if I can get a pharmacy degree, I just think everything else is easier, right? Like doing real estate is easier than a pharmacy degree. Doing my coaching and mentoring business is easier than a pharmacy degree, right? Doing social media, at least from an intellectual standpoint, is easier than pharmacy school. So I've done something hard, so everything else by comparison seems easy. And then by becoming a pharmacy director, I have about 30 people report to me, mostly pharmacists reporting to me. So I developed a lot of soft skills, communication skills, coaching, you know, helping them improve, helping them do better, helping them succeed, you know, fixing your medication errors. This translates very well into like my real estate business, because like, you know, you need to be able to communicate with contractors who may not be as educated. You may need to communicate with property managers, with realtors, with insurance people, and be able to explain things. Like, to me, if I can explain pharmacology, medications, disease states to a patient at a 5th grade level, it's easy for me to communicate with, you know, general contractors who may not be the brightest light bulbs, or property managers. You know, a lot of people that go in the real estate profession, they went into that profession because they may not have been the best students, right? So for me, I was a good student, but I know that many people are not great students. And like, you know, for me in the hospital, I talk with nurses. You know, nurses don't require as much education as pharmacists, and they want things explained in a very simple way. So I'm able to do that, right? I work with a lot of hospital admin who have no healthcare background. You know, they might have a finance background. So I'm able to explain complex concepts to them. So I'm doing this constantly, right? I'm constantly coaching pharmacists. That's why it translates very well for me. If I can coach a pharmacist to verify medication safely and not kill a patient, I think I can help a real estate investor buy their first multifamily deal, right? So to me, it's like less at stake in my mind. And, you know, in the hospital, I'm making decisions that are life or death, right? But with real estate, I mean, it's not really life or death in real estate. At the worst case, you lose money, and, you know, as long as you're alive and you lost money, it's okay. As long as you're alive, you can make back that money, right? So to me, it's like, I think it's a lower stakes game. Versus if I make a mistake in the hospital, I can harm a patient, I can kill a patient, and I could potentially lose my license, right? So to me, I just think working in the hospital, working as a pharmacist, it's harder than anything I'm doing right now on my side hustle. So when I have that perspective, I know that, okay, I could be very successful at this, and the skills translate very well, right? Like, I would say it translates very well. Like I said, coaching pharmacists is harder than coaching real estate investors. Coaching, dealing with complex standard operating procedures in a hospital is way more complicated than standard operating procedures for like renovating my apartment complex, right? It's like real estate's very simple, it's very dumbed down, right? So, you know, so I'm glad I chose my profession as a pharmacist, where I'm not super busy like a physician, where I have time allocated to doing side hustles. And a lot of what I learned as a pharmacist in a hospital setting translates up well to my other businesses, you know, my coaching business, my real estate business. So, and eventually when that takes over my pharmacist job, which it's very close to be honest at this point, it'll help me. But I like how it keeps me a perspective where like real estate is easier. Real estate's easier than my real estate business, right? In terms of like what's at stake. So, you know, overall, I'm glad I went to a pharmacist. And the point of this video is to let you know that a lot of what you're learning in your W-2 can translate to your real estate business. It can translate to your side hustle, right? So nothing goes to waste per se. So keep that mindset, right? Don't think your W-2 is completely useless. There's always some skill that you can take from your W-2 that translates over to your real estate business, that translate to buying real estate, you know, so don't take it for granted, right? If you work at Starbucks, there's a lot of things that can translate over to real estate, like customer service. You know, my view is how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you half-ass your job, you're going to half-ass your real estate business, right? You're going to half-ass your coaching business. But if you take your job seriously, you're going to take everything else you do seriously. So if you found value from this video, please share this with somebody who can benefit from this video, and share this with someone who maybe wants to be a pharmacist and wants to invest in real estate, right? So, you know, obviously I'm biased. So thank you. If you found value from this video, please subscribe, and I hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.